Well, I mean, I think, those things go, kind of show up where you have to be at your best. I think everybody has to be at their best, in all three phases. And there's been some games where, I thought we played well offensively, whether it's, in a 4-minute drive where, you're kneeling on the ball and you're not, you don't have to go down and score. Not to say that that's, an excuse for, where we're at, from a production standpoint or a scoring standpoint in the fourth quarter. But, those are some, things that have come up. But we have to be, at our best, not turning the football over, or when we're in a 2-minute drive to go down there and be able to score points, to win a football game. For a lot of these guys, whatever decision it is that, that we're working through, I have a lot of respect for most of these guys that have been here. The guys that you'd have that conversation with, and I have respect for all of them. Usually you have a conversation, and, my job is to listen, to find out what each and every player and coach and everybody else is thinking, and then try to, take that and make a decision that's in the best interest of the football team. I think that for the most part, when you talk about things like this week you got to put a team. We got to go out there and win, and so you can only, you only have so many guys inactive each and every week. So, but for most of those, discussions or conversations, you talk to the player, and they tell you how they're feeling, and then I'll, try to tell them what my thoughts are, and kind of go from there. Well, we've tried to, come up with a plan that's been, all about trying to get recovered mentally and physically with these guys, and understand the toll that the game takes on them each and every week, especially late in the season. I'm glad that they had, spend some time with family on Christmas, and, we'll add a little bit more than what we did yesterday from a walk-through perspective and try to get moving around in individual. Today will still be, a lot of team reps in a walk-through setting. Tomorrow we'll probably ramp that up a little bit. I think that, just some of the timing things that go into, especially throwing the football, seeing where guys are at and seeing what we can do from a speed standpoint to get ready for Thursday night. Well, I can't say enough for those guys, for Kevin, Jeffrey, Danico, Derek. I know Ryan's hurting. Ryan's, he's disappointed because he can't help us right now, because it means a lot to him. He knows what his impact is to the football team as the starting quarterback. So there's just a lot of guys throughout there. I think, Robert Woods has provided some veteran presence, and, I'm sure he would have liked to caught a lot more balls through the course of, 17 games or 16 games or 15 games. But he hasn't wavered in his approach, his daily approach, being out there, being available, being a leader, blocking, has never hesitated. 15-yard reverse to Traylon, and he's finishing and he's blocking, and that's right on down the stretch. Well, it's a great test against a talented football team, a good football team that just, has won a lot of games. And so that's what we try to do each and every week, is figure out who you have, figure out, what you can do, what you can run, and, get them as healthy as you can, and then get them, go play hard and do the things that we know that win. Each and every day, just do them a little bit more consistently. Well, I think he played extremely hard. I think he was extremely talented. I think he was athletic. I think he had great size. I think his instincts, you kind of had a certain defense that you kind of coached, and then you kind of had, whatever JJ ended up doing, and that's kind of how it went, And so if you were, saying, hey, man, you got to play a 4-eye and you got to grind the tackle, like, it don't end up mattering. Like, he's just going to jump around them or do whatever and find the ball. So I remember this one story. We went round and around the defensive staff, and we were like, well, how are we going to cover this with this pressure? It was a Buffalo game, and we went all the way until Saturday. Like, who's the end going to take? or, who's the backer going to come? It was like some weak side bunch. And so I don't even remember what we ended up going with the coverage and the blitz, but we ran it in the game. They ran the same exact thing. The guy was open, and JJ, as he was blitzing, intercepted the ball and ran it back 75 yards, and we just were laughing like, yep, I guess we spent too much time worrying about if we knew he was just going to intercept it for a touchdown, we wouldn't have spent as much time on the coverage. That pretty much sums up, who JJ was.